morning, everybody. It's about 5:45 in the morning as I'm recording this, but it's obviously still dark out. I'm on my way trekking out to work. Gonna maybe stop at Dominion somewhere in Scranton on the way to work. We'll see what we can do. Anyway, I was I like to listen to talk radio. I put on my regular talk radio station from Scranton. They were talking about home ownership and how difficult it is for millennials to get into the home market. I'm so scared now they're going to raise the rates. I'm still renting a house for 10 years. I should buy it. I had it, I was offered to buy it, but I don't have the credit. I don't have that down payment. I could probably get a FHA loan for the down payment, but or work out. But I tried to get work out a rent to own option, but I tried to get into this, and I just couldn't. I couldn't even get a pre-approved loan with a good government job and everything. It's very difficult to even get a loan. So that depressed me. So I said, well, if I'm depressed already, I'll turn on NPR. We have a local NPR station in Jeffersonville, and I was fascinated by what they had to say, because they were talking, it was the BBC World News, and they were saying how in the scheme of justice in the world and everything, how unfair it is that people in wealthier countries are getting boosters for the COVID when people in the poorer countries didn't even get the first dose of the vaccine. So why are people so upset then at people who are hesitant to get the vaccine? Isn't that in the interest? And again, I'm not saying yes or no. I'm not spreading any information. I'm merely asking a question, meaning the CDC is encouraging everyone to be vaccinated. I myself have had both doses of the Moderna vaccine, and I'm planning to get the booster, right? I've tried a few times, but I've been feeling kind of under the weather here and there, and they said, you have to feel healthy for 3 days in order to get the booster. I'm like, I don't know if I ever do that, What does that mean? But anyway, there's always have allergies and, seasonal allergy. I don't know which is an allergy, which is a cold, which is a flu. I took a flu shot. But I don't know if people realize, that the World Health Organization is upset at the CDC for encouraging us to get a third dose, a booster dose, while so many other countries haven't even had the first dose. So why are people so upset at people who want to rely on natural immunities or other things? As long as the most vulnerable populations are protected, this dichotomy, again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not an expert on these things. I'm merely asking a question. I don't want to get kicked off of YouTube for asking a question, but it's a serious question, and I'd like to know the answer. Why are we pushing vaccines for 5-year-olds? As long as the people who healthy 5-year-olds, I can understand pushing a vaccine for a 5-year-old, God forbid, with leukemia or even diabetes or whatever it is, but a healthy 5-year-old. Well, why are we pushing a vaccine for a healthy American 5-year-old when? And I'm not anti-vax. I'm vaccinated, and my wife is vaccinated. When there are poor people starving in Africa and in Asia and South America and all these poor countries who haven't had one dose, why don't we prioritize these other countries that have a need, instead of being selfish. Isn't that like a liberal value, to care about the poor people in Africa, right? I mean, I know it's a conservative value, but then when conservatives, go into that value of caring about the poor people in Africa and India, the liberals will call us imperialists, right? Missionaries, and whatever other negative thing that they feel about people on the right, right? But seriously here, what are we doing with this? Why don't we have why is this not a concern in America? Why did I turn on the liberal station NPR, listen to BBC World News from England? Why don't we hear this as much in America? Why is this being played at 5:30 in the morning and not on the way home from work, 5 o'clock in the afternoon? It's a good question. I don't have the answer. I'm not saying any conspiracy theories. I understand that there can be a difference between the views of the CDC and the WHO. Who? That was my mom's joke. It sounds like a dad joke, but my mom would always, whenever they mentioned the World Health Organization, she'll always be like, who? And then there's like, there's the who and the guess. So that's the question. What, can't we say that someone who has natural immunities, who is healthy, or any other, or if they would get the virus, it would not be dangerous to them? Because we know which populations it's dangerous for. There are various health factors, age factors. We've already learned from the science for whom it is dangerous and for whom it is not. And we're able to, when it first came out, the virus, there was this fear of, spread with of non asymptomatic spread and so forth. And I understand that's, but why now that we do have these vaccines, and also the way, again, I'm not a doctor, but I heard on the radio the guy who invented the mRNA vaccine, mRNA, whatever it is, the one that said that it undermines the effectiveness. I could be wrong, and I'm not saying this, I'm just quoting something that I heard. But if everyone